Hi everyone, my name is Jesse Nyata and I'll be your preacher for today. Yeah. First and foremost, I would like to thank Ko Ali and the entire youth staff for allowing me to be here. It is such a privilege and an honor to be here with you all. Oh, itu sudah ada. So, our monthly topic today is Shout of Praise. From week 1 to week 3, we already learned praising is about, to express ourselves, whether it may be different definitions for you all. But let's also talk about praising in our family altar. As youth, right? We're youth, we're growing into teenagers. We must want and we must desire for our family to have a close relationship with God. Yes, it's also important that each and every one of us has a close relationship with God, but it's also important that we as a family are also united in God's presence. We're no longer kids. We're teenagers. We're growing to adulthood. We cannot give all the tasks to our parents. Nggak bisa saja kita bilang kayak, ya papa mama saja lah. Sama anak, ya kan? Isn't it my parents' responsibility? Buat apa aku harus bikin family altar? Buat apa yang aku harus gini. But no, that's wrong. As youth, it's also our responsibility to also grow our family altar. And so, what is family altar? I give you two pictures. On the left is the temple of the Lord, waktu di Old Testament in Kings. You should read it. It's very good. And that is King Solomon's temple that he built for the Lord. And so, altar, very fancy, very biblical. Ya kan? Altar is like persembahan, ya kan? Kayak I have to build an altar, I have to sacrifice something. So sometimes what we think of a family altar is like this. So cliche, so perfect, has to be so extravagant, has to be so wow. It has to be worthy for the Lord. But that's wrong. On the right, we also have another definition of family altar. And if you see, it's just as simple as praying with each other, looking out for one another in a family. Kita lo makan bareng bersama, chit-chat, quality time, itu sudah family altar, in my opinion. Don't underestimate the power of the family altar. Don't think so highly of yourself that you have to do all of that. Instead, and you forget to do that. Another example from the Old Testament is from Joshua 24, verse 15. I'll read it out to you. And if it seems evil to you to serve the Lord, choose for yourself this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the river, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you dwell on. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. We can see that family altars have been built before Jesus was born. It is already a rule. It's a covenant. It's already a rule how we have to build a family altar, because this is just after when they got out of Egypt. We can see how God has a desire to have an intimate relationship, not just for each person in the family, but as a whole. And that is not insignificant. We cannot undermine the value of that. These were the times when the temple of the Lord wasn't even built. Ini barusan saja keluar dari Mesir. Jadi, memang this rule has been there for a long time. We can see how it is important that we as a house, we as a whole, we as a family, we will serve the Lord. Okay, so that was just the definition of the biblical perspective. Now, let me show you an illustration from the Old Testament. That is King Solomon. We all know who King Solomon is, right? Kaya, pintar, handsome, mungkin, yeah. Powerful, so strong, so connected with God. But a dark side to Solomon was his adultery. In 1 Kings 11 verse 3, as he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. For years, the Israelites obeyed God until Solomon chose this path of destruction. He married a lot of women from different tribes, from the land of Egypt, from the land of Amorites, from the land of Jebusites, etc., etc. Because of that, we can see how it destroys his relationship with God, especially his descendants after that. That is for another topic, but if you want to read it, it's in 1 Kings. It's very good. I encourage you all to read the Bible on this story as well. Jadi, let's just imagine ya, kita anaknya Solomon gitu ya. kita sekarang mungkin papa mama kita sudah sibuk, ya kan? Kerja terus, kerja. Sometimes we don't even have family dinner. Ya, tapi think about anaknya Solomon. Sudah punya 1,000, moms, if you will. And Solomon is also a king. He has kingly duties, which is a lot. And so, because of this, the descendants of Solomon, jadi evil lah, nggak ikut Tuhan lah, and that is the consequence of not having a family altar. So, after we know the example, after we get on like, oh, this is the example of family altar in the Old Testament. Now let's go to the importance of family altar. Number 1, it causes unity in the family, wholeness in the family, if you will. Family altar is the bridge between the different age gaps in the family due to the responsibilities in life. Example, dad and mom work, we go to school. We can sometimes feel disconnected. We sometimes feel how we have no time for each other. We sometimes feel kaya, oh, my parents don't understand me. They're just so busy all the time. But that's the beauty of the family altar. Family altar connects you. Family altar sustains you as a family. Parents should be the people that we can run to for help. Parents should be the people we can open up to share our problems with. Curhat gitu loh. And to reassure us of how God's providence and provision is in our family. Family altar, the main thing about it is just, it helps strengthen our family bonds together. Colossians 3 verse 2, I didn't put it here, but it says, set your mind on things above, not on things on the earth. What this verse means is set your mind on things above. Where does God come from? Above, right? And so we should set our minds, we should focus on the things He's given to us, things that comes from Him, things that come from above. Family, blessings, anything, wealth, everything about that. Do not succumb to this world, but be transformed. Focus on the things that is important in your life. Indirect hints that God gives you. Family, sometimes you don't even realize. Sometimes you don't even realize how this is a blessing that I have. I can do public speaking. I can play instruments. I can talk with people. I'm an extrovert. That comes from God. Focus on that. Don't focus on what the world can give you. And family altar is part of our personal spiritual journey with God. What I tell people all the time is that your spiritual journey is personal. It's very personal. I cannot say what it's like. I'm not God. I cannot judge how it's going to be for you. I don't know the future. Sometimes you can say, yeah, I have a family. It's okay. You can. My family, I say hi to my family. I say, Dad, I love you. Dad, I give you a Father's Day card. Mom, Happy Mother's Day. I love you. But that's it, you can. Do I need more? Family is everything. Listen to me. You can have everything in life. You can be successful, you can be smart, you can be talented, you can be skilled. You can have everything in life. But without family, you will always feel like you're missing something. Without family, people who raised you since you were little, people who really love you, people who truly care for you, if you don't have them, trust me, you can feel so whole in your life, yet so empty in the future. The third point is family altar forms us into becoming a vessel of His purpose. We already learned that, okay, family altar is important. It's a key component for me in my spiritual journey. And so, that is what a vessel is. A vessel means that we're messengers. Hamba Tuhan. And being vessels of God, we need to be whole. We need to be corrected. We need to be true. We need to be complete, if you will. Yes, God is enough. Don't get me wrong. God is more than enough. God is more than enough. But yet at the same time, family also teaches you a lot of things. Example, if I have an argument with my sister, Abigail. Example. I argue back and forth, right? Yeah, okay. So what can I learn from that? How I can work with people. How I can be patient. How I can, okay, let's see from their perspective. Nggak usah keras kepala setiap kali kalau debat gitu kayak mau menang gitu. Yeah, we can learn something from that. Family, you reconcile. That's the beauty of family. You get to reconcile because they're so close to you and they mean that much to you. Masa enak sih, satu rumah tapi masih tengkar terus. Naik turun, makan, nggak say hi, harus naik ke kamar saja. Nggak enak ya kan? It's not right. That's so not right. And so, now we understand the importance of building family altar. Let's talk about ways that we can build family altar. Have a heart to build the family altar. Hebrews 10 verse 24 until 25. Let us think of ways to motivate one another in acts of love and good works. And let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of His return is drawing near. It says it right there. Do not neglect. Take responsibility. Don't just shove it away. Biarin lah, jangan. Encourage one another. It's all in this verse. It's right here. You need to encourage one another. An illustration that I can give you is es teh manis, es teh tawar. Kalau kita order di restoran gitu ya, 9 es teh manis, 1 es teh tawar, kita bisa lihat ya kan, manis, satunya tawar. Oke, think of it kayak di keluarga. Jadi, papa mama, kita, sibling, manis, tapi satunya tawar. Ya, nggak enak dong. Pasti kalau kita hangout bersama itu kayak, kenapa ya ada yang auranya yang nggak enak, not pleasant gitu ya, yang moodnya kayak mood sucker gitu loh, ya kan. So that's why we need to be able to have a heart of grace, extending a heart yang kayak, hey, are you okay? Hey, why are you so sad? Ya kan? Hey, ayo, let's encourage one another. Do not neglect when your siblings feeling down, sad, anything it may be. Do not neglect that. The second point is to serve the Lord with and in your family. Serve the Lord with your family because that is how you can glorify God as well. God has blessed you with a family. God has given you a family. You can also serve together as that is your way of giving back to Him. It's beautiful. Even with your family, ask Him to glorify His name in your actions because family are the closest people in your life. And also, serve the Lord in your family. We want to serve the Lord. Okay, aku mau PAW, aku mau usher, aku mau preaching. Yay, ya kan? I want to be a drummer, anything it may be. But where does that all start from? Serving. Okay, I serve my friends, ya kan? I open the door for them. If they need help, I can give them a ride. Apalah. Tapi at the same time, serve your family. Those are the most important people in your life. Colossians 1 verse 10, that you may walk worthy of the Lord, fully pleasing Him, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God. Our job here is to grow and to become fruitful. Us being fruitful is for others to see and to experience. We have to grow into becoming a true vessel of the Lord that people can see, that people can taste, that people can, oh, jadi ini loh, dia ini dekat sama Tuhan. Oh, I can feel God's love from Him. That's fruits. That's for people to taste and experience. And of course, last but not least, pray for each other. Do not ever underestimate the power of prayer. You can see me a lot when I pray for you. It's not just a show. Praying is about how to help people. Praying is about how you can express to God. Praying is about, God, I need you. This is me, you know. Praying is about relying on God to solve all your problems. Curhat to God, anything. You can cry, you can bend on your knees, you can shout, you can scream. Pray. Matthew 18, verse 19 until 20. Again, I say to you that if two of you agree on earth concerning anything that they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am there in the midst of them. Okay, don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean that when you pray by yourself, God is not there. God is still there. When you pray by yourself in your room, when you pray, when you eat, doesn't mean that God is not there. But this verse shows the beauty of the family altar. Family consists of 3 or more people because a dad, a mom, and a child. This shows how powerful family prayer is. This shows how important family altar is. Yes, don't undermine the power of prayer as in, you don't have to be sok-sokan gitu loh, nggak usah sok suci to pray. It's okay. Just pray, God requires your heart, not your skills. God runs your heart, not your mind. He wants to know what you feel. He wants to know, kaya, this is my son. Tell me, I'm your father. Tell me what you need. Now, it's a little sensitive, I know. Okay, go. I know how important family altar is. I know what I need to do. I know how to build my family altar. But none of it is working. There's hindrance. Why? If family altar is so important for my spiritual journey, then why do I struggle so much with it? Why? A quote from Pastor Abi Olusochi, sorry for the bad pronunciation. Without an active family altar, the enemy would have his way in our families and in the lives of our spouses and children. If we don't have a consistent family altar, generational sin, iniquity, and transgression would follow our children. The devil hates family altars. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. Everybody has a problem. But I bet you one thing, that this problem will always go back to your family. Because that is where everything is from. When the devil wants to destroy something in you, he attacks your family first. Example, he attacks your relationship with your parents. He attacks your dad. He attacks your mom first. Because of that, it makes you, not motivated, losing faith, etc. There's so many things that could happen if you do not protect your family altar. To show you an illustration, I have here a graph. It says, God's will, parents' will, our will. Look at the arrows. God's will goes to our parents, and our parents' will goes to our will. But notice this, God's will also goes to us. What I mean by this is, God has a will for you, yes. But at the same time, your parents' will is given by God to help you in your will. Don't think that what your parents are doing, to nyasal-nyasalan. Nah. Parents want your best interest in heart. It all comes from God. God gives it to the parents give it to us. It's the whole cycle. Whether you admit it or not, that's how it works. No matter how much you want to deny it, that's how it works. Ephesians 6, 1 verse 3. I get it. When you read this verse, I gotta obey my parents. Ako harus nurutin papa mama because of this verse. But listen closely. Children, obey your parents because you belong to the Lord. For this is the right thing to do. Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with a promise. If you honor your father and mother, things will go well for you and you will have a long life on earth. Because you belong to the Lord, obey your parents. That is the right thing to do. The Bible says so right there. Friends, there is no manual for parenting. Yes, there are Parenting 101, counseling session Parenting 101. Tapi, there's no book yang kamu taruh, ito parenting. Jadi, when you're a parent, use this book to teach your child. No. There's no such thing as a manual for parenting. Parents are blessed to have us. And so that means that God has anointed them and has blessed them to be our parents. You think that being a parent itu nyasal-nyasalan ta? Giving life to someone, taking care of someone, it's a huge responsibility that only God can grant. God has blessed your parents to have you. And do not undermine that blessing. Sorry for the bad drawing, but I would like to thank Abigail, my sister, for helping me out with this drawing. Yeah. Thank you. If you do not get it, I'll explain. Sorry. So that's us. This is our journey of life. And that is God's path. Okay? This is God's path. This is journey of life. This is us, 17 years, 13 years in life. That's our parents, 25, 30 years ahead of us. And that is the end goal. Heaven, eternity, salvation. What I want you to get from this diagram is how we can understand that our parents are also a work in progress. Our parents are also human. Parents make mistakes. Parents let you down sometimes. Hey, don't be all. Parents are also in their journey of life with God. They're also learning. Don't be so arrogant to think that it's all about you. My parents have to be this, so I can be this, What do you expect? I give to you the most simple illustration. Take it or leave it. But trust me, it's better that you take it. Don't be so arrogant to think that your parents have to be perfect just to make you perfect. Hold on, isn't there God? God can also do that. God is so good in your life that He wants to do something amazing for you. I invite the Beawi team to the front. When I was preparing this sermon, it also hit me personally, When I was sat doing, I had this verse come up in my head. Psalm 142, verse 5. I cried out to you, O Lord. I said, you are my refuge, my portion of land in the living. There's a purpose for everything. It's hard to admit. I cannot say that to you because I'm not God. I cannot say that whatever season, whatever condition you have with your family is a part of your process. I know it's hard to accept. I get it. Again, we're youths. I want to be a teenager. I want to be an adult. I'm a teenager now. I'm not a kid anymore. Aku mau jadi gini. I want to hang out with my friends. Buat apa aku harus sama my little sister all the time? Buat apa aku harus take care of my little brother all the time? I want to be independent. I want to be strong. I want to be the boss girl, the boss woman, whatever you want to call it. But friends, I tell you, from personal experience, don't ever neglect your family. I regret doing that. I regret very much doing that. I thought that since I'm in God's path, God's spiritual journey in my life, that I don't need my family. That God has me, but I don't need my family. That's wrong. Don't be like me. Don't be so arrogant to think that you have it all. Like I tell you before, family is everything. Without family, you can feel so whole. You can feel so complete. But without family, you will always feel like something is missing. Forgive, understand, compensate. Always work for your family altar. Don't be like me. Don't be like me who neglects it. Don't be like me yang kaya, it's okay. God has me. I don't need my family. I don't need to take care of my siblings. Why me? I'm the youngest. Why do I have to take care of my whole family? Buat apa? Buat apa? Buat apa? But please, I tell you, don't think like that. Don't ever think like that. Your family are the most important people in your life. Take it the easy way. I learned the hard way. Trust me, I learned the hard way. Don't learn the hard way. So what? You're human again. He's being so mean to me. I can't forgive her. My sibling was so annoying. Yeah, so what? They're human. Learn how to forgive. Learn how to have compassion. Be the bigger person. God always teaches us to love one another. to extend His grace. And trust me, when you have that family altar, I know that all of you will have it. It will be so amazing. It will be so clear for you to experience. But again, I'm not God. I'm not here to tell you how it's going to go, why it's happening. I'm not here to tell you, oh, it's happening because of this. No. I believe each and every one of you has your own spiritual journey. I believe that every single one of you is called for a greater purpose that God has in store for you. And I always pray that for all of you. The Holy Spirit is beautiful because no matter what can happen, no matter how many wrongdoings you can do, He is still there to forgive you. He's still there like this. He wants to give you a hug. He wants to give you safety. He wants to give you security.